like Americans. So I kind of put these streets together. I got an architect and I designed all these streets, and it's a visual life and it's being used all over America. When you look at this brown side, each one of these streets on the brown side is a two-way street that leads to Positive Drive, and it takes you to the green side. And the green side shows you what it takes to get to productive life. Straight and narrow road to Sacrifice Lane. Sacrifice Lane to spiritual, spiritual to discipline, discipline to self-esteem, self-esteem to freedom, freedom to education way. Here's ways that you could educate yourself: GED, high school, turn school, trade school, college, military road. When you graduate and come down Graduate Road to Community Drive. First intersection, Recovery Road. Everyone is recovering from something. Community Drive then take you to Support Lane where you have employment. Corporation Drive, Entrepreneurship Way, takes you up to Love Parkway to Family Way, Family Way to Legacy Parkway, streets of success, understanding, knowledge, principle, morals, character, wisdom, honorable, peaceful, productive life, peace of mind, financial rewards, prodigy, opportunity, freedom, investments. Many families are trapped on this brown side for generations. I was at a juvenile facility and I was talking to a group of young boys, and I asked one of them to look at the map and tell me the roads they went down to get to where they were. Young man looked up and said, "I made the wrong choice. I came out of a single parent home. I dropped out of school. I was in a gang. I was unemployed. I was selfish. I wanted easy money. I started dealing with drugs, and that's how I got here." And he scratched his head and said, "Well, Mr. Pitre, this map is telling me where I was headed." I said, "Right. But right now, son, you on Prison Road. As you go up Prison Road, you go through the jails and the courts. If you continue, you may get probation. If you continue, you go time drive, you go in the criminal justice system. Right now, incarcerated is 2,200,000 plus. Probation, 4,100,000 plus. Parole, 788,000 plus. So you have 7 million plus people in that system on a daily basis. You got thieves, gangsters, rapists, drug dealers, crack users, and innocent. If you're in this environment here, you either go one-way drive to the cemetery or to the penitentiary. Humans in cages, free room and board with TV, no smoking, visits on the weekend, money on the books, must be willing to protect your manhood or womanhood, can't have protection. 95% of the people that go into prison come out down Parole Road. You have an option to take Parole Road to Positive Drive and go to the green side of the map. 78% of the people that come off Parole Road to go back into this environment in 3 years or less, they're in the cemetery or the penitentiary. This is said to be one of the best teaching tools in America. We have curriculum, but it's a visual of life. You know, and this is our community all over America. We have allowed our community to get to this level right here. You know, when you look at these streets, Drug Boulevard, promiscuous, HIV, you know, Prison Road, unemployment, you know, and this is what our community has become. But I grew up in this environment. We didn't have lots of money. We didn't have no money. But we had principle, we had morals, and you know, we wasn't going through all this drug. But all this is by design. See, this is by design. Yes. The conspiracies that we have faced. Now, I come up, you know, in the 60s when we were talking about civil rights, equal rights, and what they did, the power to be, when all over the world got the best heroin, and they dropped it in every inner city in America. And they come back in like 71, 72, with movies like Superfly and Back. You could be slick and you could beat the system. And see, from 1980 to 2011, 22 million blacks went in and out of the penitentiary. And then in 1980, when they dropped crack cocaine and AIDS, now they dropped the crack cocaine in the black community, they took the AIDS virus to Africa. From 1980 to 2011, 34 million Africans died. Now they brought AIDS back to America. 42% of all AIDS cases is black Americans. You know, so there are conspiracies to take us out of here. When you look at the Indian, the Indian, they were the largest population in America. You can't find an American Indian. Most of you all probably never seen an American Indian. See, and this is the gentrification that's happening in our communities right now. I mean, we losing our land. At one time we had 14 million acres of land. I mean, now we got less than 1 million acres of land in America. So we losing ground, we losing people every day. The penitentiaries, this 2.4 million people, 42% of it is Black American. We 13% of the population. We're losing, When you look at the crimes that's being committed in our community, it's black on black. That black self-hate is destroying us. So we got to come out of where we are right now. It's gonna take a lot of work, a lot of sacrificing. It's gonna take mind and money. And see, but we're not being tough enough. See, my deal is that I have to be tough. These white folks ain't gonna give me nothing. They ain't gonna give me nothing. They don't want to see me successful. But now, when you look at the situation, I don't have problems. I mean, look like I don't have problems with the white people, but I know what they're doing to my people. And I'm one of them guys that turn over the tables and say, hey, y'all ain't right. And they come to me and say, well, look, what would it take to just shut you up? You don't have enough money. You don't have enough money. I'm not gonna take that. So that's why I don't take money from white people. I don't take no money. I've learned how to make money. I'm a college graduate. I'm not no brilliant, smart guy. I'm just knowledgeable of life and myself. I have inner strength, And coming out of projects, hey, if bullies had to fight, they was bullying because everybody was gonna fight you back. See, you ain't gonna come in there and just kick somebody and say, oh, don't do that no more and all that. No, you gotta fight. See, and that's what we have to do. We got to deal with the CRA, these banks in our community not loaning money. If white people didn't have access to capital, they wouldn't be doing as well as they are. Right. And we got to realize that we need capital to do business, to create better opportunities in our community. Our children are the ones that suffer. They had a young man on the television, I felt sorry for him, but he was 1,000% wrong. He had robbed 4 7-Elevens, convenience stores. He robbed 4 of them. And the biggest mistake that he made, he killed that dog. He ain't gonna never get out of prison. We losing young people every day. And I'm talking about doctors, lawyers. That could be doctors and lawyers, could be successful. See, but they need opportunity. And without opportunity, they're not gonna have a chance. And what I've been able to do with this map, I've changed lives. I was telling Rick that I had a young boy that on the way to prison. And I knew his father. I said, no, y'all can't, you can't send him to prison. Let me have him. Now he worked for Lockheed Martin. He inspect jets. His kid was on the way to prison. So we have young people that could be successful with the opportunity, but we're not doing it. We're not giving them opportunity. See, they listen to those junk rap music and all that old crazy stuff, and they're being crazy. It's making them crazy.
Yes, it is. That's true. Yes, it
and we let these radio stations, pausing our children with their knowledge and stuff like that. We ain't fighting for nothing, man. I am disappointed. If you go to my Facebook page, Robert Pitre, you see I am very disappointed with the way we are.
Well, Mr. Pitre, you work with the banks, and you mentioned the CRA, Community Reinvestment Act. Okay, how do we hold those banks? You've dealt with those banks. How do we hold Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the big banks, how do we hold their feet to the fire about the Community Reinvestment Act? You're supposed to take your money and reinvest into a certain portion. How do
You
we
wanna
hold their
see,
feet to
you
it?
wanna see where they have invested.
Okay.
What you wanna see.
But how do we do that? How
Just
do we
go
make
to the
them
bank.
say-
They supposed to be able to show you that. When you
Okay.
go in the bank, I need to see where you have invested in our community. You got the FDIC, the OCC. These organizations is giving a green stamp to the banks. Cause we ain't saying nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to add to that, is that Donald Trump has made some changes to the requirements for the banks for the CRA, okay? So the way he made the change, and I'm gonna just say it from a high level standpoint, because I followed that for a long period of time. The changes that he made is that it's not necessarily that they have to qualify to actually give loans in certain neighborhoods. They can have certain projects that now that can qualify to make them CRA compliant, and it's part of the gentrification. So you want to look into that. So the time that he's talking about it, that's what it was designed for, because banks' goals was to try to cross state lines in order to get their branches there. But don't expect banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, or those big, they are financial centers, they're focused globally. Focus on the regional banks.
Yeah.
But look into what Donald Trump has already changed on that.
But we could change all that.
Oh yeah, we can change
deal
that.
with
The
it.
thing
Yeah,
is,
we
like you
just-
said, we got to be.
Well, you know, what they're just, what he said, I mean, they have done that in the past, where investing in apartment buildings and getting the tax credits and stuff like that. In not investing in residential home ownership. And see, that's what we got to get them in. See, you don't have no answer. Back in 2008, when the economy went bad, white people had assets. And you know what they done? They set the house on fire. They let people steal their boats. You know, they had assets, you know. See, we didn't have none, so we couldn't do it. And then they cashed in, they made the insurance companies pay them.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, we just lost the real estate that we own, the few properties that we own. You know, so we got to go in and demand opportunity. We got to demand it. You know, with the acreage that I have right now, well, here's the deal. I sold 2 office buildings on the MLK in August in Dallas. And I sold one of them to a organization that yesterday had their ribbon cutting. And their role in the community is setting up programs for new home buyers, setting up investor programs. Because my property was not for sale. They came to me and said, hey, I'd like to buy your property. And for what they were doing, I said, here, you can have it. Just like when I sold the property to the church, you know, hey, 7 cents a foot, man, I sold them 69 acres. Now here's the joke about the deal. Now, the preacher, real super preacher, and he came to me and he said, look, we've already built next to this property and we heard you own it. We're interested in buying at least 10 acres. So he said, well, would you come out and talk to the church? So the little deacon board, so I went to talk to him and I'm saying, hey, I say the whole 69. And the preacher said, great. So here's the deacon. Well, all we want is 10 acres. 10 acres, that's all we want. I said, okay, I'll sell you 10 acres, but the price of 10 acres is the same price as 69.
Yeah.
So if you want 10, at the price of 69, you got 10. So, you know, I want to have all the land. When you building senior facilities, hey, man, that's what you need to do. You know, and God has blessed me. You know, I'm not in the church and all that kind of stuff, but when the preachers see me, I'm like the bishop. And I don't see a lot of things, nice things about these people just going to these churches and just going to church on Sunday and then walk out of that building and do the same old thing. You know, and what we have to do, these churches, they taking the money in collection to the bank on Monday, and then the bank is taking the money and loaning it to white people to develop their community, and we get nothing. We can't get along. See, you got to, I mean, I just, you know, sometimes I just shake my head and say, oh man, how are we gonna get out of this situation? You know, but now, my goals are to help the youth. See, I think that, you know, some of these old heads is gonna stay old heads and they ain't gonna do nothing because they're satisfied. But give me them young people. You know, just give me them. Like my grandson, we bought this property together. He's 5 years old. I took him to the title company with me. He did everything but sign the deeds. And he said, and he told everybody, this is me and my papa's property, me and my papa's property. So I sold it. And I gave him a piece of the profit. Now his mother needed a car. So he don't need no money right now, all he needs is knowledge. So I told him, okay, I'm taking your profit and we're gonna buy your mother a car. And he bought his mother a Lexus. Now, and he was 10 years old. Now, we didn't go buy no new Lexus now. We bought a 2010 Lexus ES 350, great car. Mother loved it. You know, so that's, you know, but right now, you know, had some of his little friends with him, and I was telling his little friends, you know, he bought his mother a Lexus. And his friend, oh, George. And he was just like so strong about it, you know, it made him feel so good. Because this is something that's gonna always be with him, you know? And this is what we have to do with our children. We gotta do it, man. I mean, if we don't do it, that white man's not gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah, he don't care, they don't care. They want your children in penitentiary and, you know, so that's kinda what our situation is, you know, but it's, to me, it's frustrating to see what we're doing to each other all over America. You know, I was in Chicago, and I went with my brother-in-law, wife's father's a preacher. So the preacher was saying that I told Miss Mary that when you come to the church, you can't stand out in front of the church. That's why she got shot in the behind. And I'm saying, oh man, you can't go and stand in front of the church house? You know? And then, you know, we burglarizing our community. You know, the black self-hate is just, it's bad. It's worse than racism.
Right.
Yeah, it's worse than racism. You know, so we got to, you know, I hope that, you know, I said something that might inspire you all when you get back to where you're going to do more and take a stronger position. Because if you don't, you're gonna suffer. You know, you're gonna continue to suffer, your community. You know, I could get out of this stuff here and everybody say, oh, he's so successful, he this and all that. But, you know, I'm not, I just bought this ring here because I had a ring back when I was in the fast life, way back 40-something years ago, and it came up missing. And I went and I seen this here because I don't even wear ring watches and stuff like that. You know, not, you know, it's good to, you know, wear. I don't have a thing against it, you know. I've used cars. I like Mercedes, so I have Mercedes. And, you know, on my car lot, I got all kinds of cars. Porsches, Mercedes, you know, but it's just a material value to sell. It don't mean nothing to me. People in the community, homeless people, they know me. I mean, I'm involved. You know, I keep money in my pocket every day when I see two black men walking around with a bag. Hey, brother, you got any money in your pocket? No, brother, here's $20. Y'all split it. You know, I do this every day. My little grandson is one of my little grandsons that He called me every morning between 7:45 and 7:50, and he prayed. And he prayed for the homeless people, and I mean, he's in it, man. I mean, this little kid, and very knowledgeable life, go to a great school, but right now, it's about the people that's in need. See, and we got to help the people that's in need, you know, and everybody know me. Right now, if I wanted to be mayor of Dallas, I could be mayor of Dallas. Because I'm mayor of Dallas, he don't do shit. And then everybody know me. I mean, everybody knows. If I go somewhere, how you doing, Mr. Pitre? Wherever I go, everybody know me. Everybody know me.
Make it
If
plain.
you ask somebody that y'all know in Dallas, say, what about Skyline Ranch? Tell me about Skyline Ranch. They'll tell you about Skyline Ranch. You know, we service kids.
No, I didn't
Oh.
mean to interrupt. I just wanted to tell y'all, listen, one of our next events is gonna be at Skyline.
All right.
So we got a lot of work to do. Just wanted to let y'all know that.
It's a great facility. We have a natural spring that the water just as clear as water come out your fountain.
Yes, yes.
You know, I mean, but it's all of God. It's a blessing from God. And, you know, and God knew what I was gonna do with it, and so it's a blessing. But now, I'm tested more than most people because of my faith in God and things that I do. So I get tested. You know, and you know, I don't mind, you know, going through the test, you know, and I've been there. You know, when my father died, that was one of the worst things that could have happened to me as a young boy. You know, I got this great relationship with my father. I wake up one morning and say, they dead. Nobody really told me about death. See, nobody explained that to me. But I had a strong base, family base. You know, like I'm a developer now. But at 12 years old, and 12 years old was that powerful year in my life, being that age. At 13, I was self-contractor for Gulf Oil Company. I worked for Gulf Oil Company at 13 years old. That's hard to believe, but this is what I done. There was a man named Mr. Tom. His job was to clean 3 tanker trucks every Saturday. I'd start calling him Thursday. Mr. Tom, you gonna pick me up? You gonna pick me up? I knew how to drive a standard shift at 13 years old. So I would get in them, he'd take me out to Gulf Oil Company plant. Now, right now, they wouldn't even let a kid on their plant. He'd take me out there. I get in one of them tanker trucks and I drive it to the wash rack. Get on top of it with a push broom, scrub it, rinse it off, pull it out the wash rack, get another one, and I do 3 trucks. And Mr. Tom also had a service station. I go to the service station and I pump gas, check the oil, and do the windows. Okay, so at the end of the day, now Mr. Tom would give me $10. Now Gulf Oil Company paid him $25 per truck. But at the end of the day, he gave me $10. When I got home, I took that $10. When I got home, I give my mother $5. I kept $5. I had more money than all the kids in the project. You know, and so
Still good.
it made me. It gave me some strength and knowledge, you know. And hey, you all could do it. I mean, I ain't nobody. I'm just, you know, I'm very faithful, you know, respectable, you know, and but I believe in helping my people.
You missed the feature.
That's right. I believe in helping my people.
All right.
You know.
Real quick, Mr. Petre's got a gift for y'all, but I want everybody to go back to their seats. We gotta stay on this. And Mr. Petre's gonna tell you about this gift that he have for y'all, but we're gonna keep moving from there.
We don't.